So, hey guys, I'm not sure if I'll post it, but I made a prior video pretty much sharing something that I'm working through. Um, Long story short, I had an assignment due a couple of days ago, decided not to do it, and ever since it's been a dark cloud following me around everywhere, and my life feels on hold until I address it, and I'll do that. I'm working towards it. Unfortunately, I'm just having like a lot of barriers, internal barriers that are beginning to feel like depression. And I'm sure there are other factors such as my hormones and my nutrition and just other stressors in my life right now. It's really hot. But at the end of the day, I'm responsible for my life. And I was just sitting here uploading some content for you all to Facebook and lean back and I was like, Father, I pray for my peace. And as soon as I said that, I also thought I have to work for it though. And I'm like, that's it. It's this 50-50 partnership between ourselves and God when we're able. And each situation, your 50% may look a little different, right? So my 50% when I'm in great shape as an athlete looks different from when I'm overweight and just getting off of the couch, you know? It looks different, but it's an equal amount of effort, right? It may have a different outcome, but it's an equal amount of effort. And so maybe what I'm doing with trying to work through it and praying through it and coming to the work and trying to do it until I eventually just lock in and get it done is enough. And maybe that's what our walk in life is all the time. It's this willingness to try. And this takes me back to the video I did with James. And if you haven't checked out the Positivity Project, check it out. I'll have more videos coming as I come across more people interested. But check it out, because one of the things James said was success is guaranteed if you don't give up. You only fail when you quit. And that, with the pattern of life in general, is really resonating with me right now. This idea that, I've been so dramatic in this situation to be like, well, maybe I just can't do grad school. Maybe I just have to quit. Maybe I just don't turn in this paper. I'll fail the class and they'll drop me out. And I don't want to do that. If I leave grad school, it's because a journey full of health has become too much for me to do both. But until that happens, I don't want to, give up on such an important opportunity based on my own shenanigans. I want to overcome my stuff. And I understand that these types of struggles are a part of the walk in grad school, because a lot of my peers struggle with procrastination, they struggle with motivation, they struggle with giving as much effort as they can. So this is just a part of that. I'm not any different. It just hit me heavy right now, But anyway, if I am willing to try, God is willing to meet me halfway. That's major. And the more you try, the more you give, the more you invest, the more you see him showing out. And that's very true. That is my whole healing process, to be honest with you. I'm thinking back to when I was an intensive outpatient. This was after I did the residential portion of my BED treatment. Check out some older videos if you're interested in that part of my story. And I used to just be crying, listening to gospel music, driving to therapy, the facility. And I just had so much going on. And I would just pray to God to get me through, because at that point, a 30-minute drive was a lot for me. I'm just being honest. It was a lot. It was stressful. Living in Bowling Green, everything is about 7 minutes away. So to drive 30 minutes to a completely different city, that's way more busy. And I had gotten comfortable with BG. It was a lot, especially to be going to therapy and talk about things that I wanted to talk about, because it was relieving, but at the same time it was painful. And I hadn't yet fully accepted the fact that I'm this little black girl in therapy. And, kind of fear of like, well, when I come up out of this and I'm back around people that like knew me since childhood and family and acquaintances from high school, you know, what they gonna say, what they thinking, and, you know, is this gonna make me better? Am I gonna be okay? But anyway, he got me through every time. I didn't get into a car accident. I don't think I missed any of those sessions until I was like leaving. And that's not even missing sessions, that's me terminating that had to end services because I wouldn't be physically around. All of this to say, meet him halfway. And if your God isn't God, it's the universe, is I could go down a list of names, but I don't have them right now. Whoever your God is, meet them halfway, with love and trust. You know, not this whole, you know how we have relationships and we have trust them and we kind of looking at them like, I'm waiting on you to mess up, but okay. No, like, I want God help. I want to please God. I want to serve him. I want to be this amazing coach, and I just want to make a positive impact on the people that my soul resonates with. And I don't necessarily know how to do that. You know, I've been spending a lot of time going through trial and error and rushing myself because I had unrealistic expectations and, you know, wishing that I was able to really have this collective balance, to have my health together and my relationships together and my business together and school together, and I'm probably going to have to get a job for a while, maybe even years, so have my career together. And it's just not that simple. It's not that easy. I'm human and I fall short and I burn out, and I have growing to do all the time. You know, although I have grown a lot for people to be attracted to me and care about what I have to say and trust what I have to say, I now have to grow to learn how to love people on deeper levels, even within my personal life, even with family members. Like, I have to grow to the point of understanding that I'm here to serve you spiritually, and what I need from you fleshly does not matter. At 26, I had to work on that, to say, you know what, you're my blank, and in this relationship I wanted to just be blank and blank, but really I'm your blank on a spiritual level, and that outrules the blank and blank relationship I was trying to have. And I might not get the friendship I was looking for with that blank and blank scenario, or the companionship, or the whatever ship. I might really just be here to serve you, to listen to you, to teach you, to allow God to work through me for you. And I don't necessarily like that, y'all. You know, like, that makes me have to pull my flesh into submission. That makes me have to put my flesh to the side, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm in a friendship with somebody, if I'm in a sistership with somebody, if I'm in a whatever ship with somebody, I want them to play that role and to play it with a spirit of excellence, as well as I'm willing to do that for them. But to learn, hold on, wait a minute, no, you might not ever get to enjoy that. That might not be why you and this person is connected. It's to serve their spirit. It's to help them get to a point that they don't even know they need to get to. And you don't know when and how you're supposed to do it all the time. But you can definitely feel it when you go about it the wrong way. And as long as you hold on to, like, what you want it to be in the fleshly way, right? It'll get worse. I'm struggling with that a lot, y'all, big time, and in different ways. And finally submitting to that. And that's a part of why working on this paper is hard, because I'm going through growing pains and releasing people and releasing parts of myself that have protected me and kept me on solid ground. But at this point, it's holding me back because I'm called to do more. I'm called to love harder and more purely and more fluidly. Fluidly meaning that I'm operating out of so much abundance that it doesn't have to come back. And it's natural to have scarcity mindset. It's natural to give your love, but to also give it with this idea of what it's going to become. And that just isn't it for me. And if you're watching this, it probably isn't it for you as well. And I'm sorry, brother or sister, but you're just called to do higher duties. And one thing I can say is, although you might not have too many people walk this path with you, you'll have what you need at any given time. You'll have who you need at any given time. And who you need and what you need might not look how you want it to, but I have never been alone when I needed somebody. And sometimes what I needed was to just be in the spirit of God. And sometimes what I needed was to be in the arms of a loved one. And sometimes what I needed was to be on the phone with a loved one, or in a therapy session with a clinician that's experienced, incredible at what they're doing. You feel me? Different things at different times, but I was always in the space of having enough. And when I felt like I really, really wasn't, I just cried out in prayer. I broke down in prayer. And I might need to do that tonight, because I don't know how I'm going to write that paper, because it's just so much holding me back from it. I mean, I feel the way I used to feel when I would work out. And I would just have this, I'm not losing weight, I'm gaining weight, I ate this burger, I can tell I'm bloated, all of that in my head in the midst of like the raft of my eating disorder, right? Like at the eye of the tiger, that's where I was at. And now I don't want to work out, or I do want to work out, or I binge uncontrollably. All of this self-sabotage, and I feel like I am in the midst of like major self-sabotage, and I just don't know how to stop myself before it gets too far. But I have to, because I'm aware now, and I don't want to suffer in that way. It's bad enough that I feel myself getting progressively more and more down until I'm going to eventually be depressed and bedridden. And that's not fun. That doesn't allow me to talk to you guys. But I am happy that I'm going through this, because I've been trying to dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and to talk to y'all, not only as this person that's like educated on this, but as a person that goes through it, that can help you without trying to help you, because it's so natural. It's so what I'm doing, that I don't have to preach it. You know, it's just in my walk. It's just in my conversation. And I don't get to talk like this often. And I don't know why I'm able to do it tonight, but I'm grateful for it, right? Maybe it's because I've been in my head so much that being in front of this camera is the only thing keeping me from being back in my head. And I'm just a person, a spirit, more than anything, a spirit. I feel like I'm just a spirit right now, a spirit that is struggling and a little bit weary and a little bit burdened and a little bit restless, and a lot of bit frustrated. I've been very frustrated today. I've been frustrated at people and myself and circumstances, and I'm typically grateful and motivated and encouraged and just like empowered. But that hasn't been it for me these past couple of days. And it stems from a decision I made, a decision to not do what I knew I needed to do, a decision to not stick to my standard, a decision to try to be like others. And that says a lot. So we discussed meeting God halfway, and we discussed sticking to the standard for you. And you know what that is. And I think that is what folks mean when they say, don't expect people that don't have the same vision to understand yours. That's what that means, is that there's a different standard for everybody, a different level of excellence. It looks different for everybody. And you know when you got to do some work. You know when you got to be more loving. You know when you got to shut up. You know when you got to walk away. You feel it within yourself, and you feel what I would call conviction. I think I'm going through conviction, a little bit of punishment when you don't abide by that. And some of that, you know, you need to talk to a clinician, because some of that can just be perfectionism, and you got to learn how to differentiate the two. And I'm learning that, you know, through trial and error. I figure that perfectionism for me is when I'm focused on how things should be based on other folks, whereas this intuitive my standard is really about what it should be at the baseline for me when it comes to what God would want. You know what I'm saying? And that's two different things, because sometimes what he would want from me is rest. Sometimes what he would want from me is me to slow down. Sometimes what he wants from me is to speak up when I really shouldn't speak up in a social situation based on those norms. So yeah, kind of rambling. I hope this is succinct enough for you to take some nuggets. I gotta get this paper done. I have a big day tomorrow, and I want to be able to enjoy it and be relieved. And even if this isn't my best work, I'm gonna get this paper done at this point. Be encouraged with love.